Hi everyone, it's Heidi Smith here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and you can find me at Flutter by Heidi. And today I'm looking at the lovely Pretty Parasol stamp set that has just come out in the catalogue that coordinates with the punch that came out last year. So this came as originally you're available to purchase it with in a bundle with Under My Umbrella, which has kind of got the wintry themed umbrellas, but this one is a beautiful spring one, much more delicate, and some really pretty extras like this little parasol handle and some different fonts in as well. And actually I'm going to be using the Happy Birthday from this particular stamp set posted for you, which is another Stamp and Punch bundle, and just say until the end of June, Stamp and Punch bundles are one of the things that you could choose as an extra to your starter kit if you join my team. You can choose any bundle in the catalogue, and that's just one. It comes with a postage stamp on. I'll be doing more projects with this stamp set soon, so keep an eye open. And then I'm also using my stitched rectangles. So these are a real staple. Great stitching inside and out, and I'm going to be using 3 of those today, and you can see I've already got that ready to go. So what about the project? So this is it here. So quite a simple card, but using our stitched rectangles to create those pretty frames, and then using some of the waste that we've got here as well. And you can see here what I've done is I've used this little edging stamp actually on the inside of the umbrella with the flowers to create a pretty floral parasol, and I'll show you how I've done that as well. This one's in Blushing Bride, and I've used the flower accent in the stamp set on the inside there, and just use some repeat stamping here to create that stamped off effect. So this one was in Blushing Bride with a bit of Pool Party, so I thought let's do one in Pool Party with a bit of Blushing Bride. So let's clear the decks and get on with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is create this raised frame here. So I've taken my one of my large ones, it's one down from the largest, and I've then taped together my 2. Now you could put these through separately if you wanted to, up to you entirely. And if you've got a magnetic plate, you'll find it's absolutely fine to pop it through. So pop that through on your magnetic plate, and when you do that, as I said, just be aware the use of the washi tape is really to stop things jumping about. That's me on my, so you'll end up with something like this. And all you do is you can just see on the reverse there, in a couple of places it hasn't perhaps punched through as well as it might, so I'll put that through a second time, but actually on a diagonal. So don't be afraid to pop your dies through more than once, particularly when you're putting through more than one. But you can see now that has gone all the way through. So I'm going to peel away my outside. Now in this instance I'm not going to use that. I could have centred it and kept it for use on another occasion, but do you know what, I haven't. And then all I do then is I just pop my thumb around the edges for those. So there's my large frame ready to go, and then I actually want that central panel as well, so again I just run that through, and then you want to repeat that, so just using these 2 dies, which is why I've just popped a bit of washi tape on those. If ever they stick together a little bit, just take your pick tool or your pokey tool, whichever you've got, and I just sort of run that round like so. On the take your pick tool it's even easier because you've got this spatula as well, so you can just sort of run that down or use that to sort of hold it, ease it up, or pop it in from this side as well like so. If you find it's starting to stick a little bit, every so often I run mine through with some greaseproof paper. I try not to do it too often because if you're not careful you can get a bit of a build-up, but that's what you're going to do, and you're going to do that and create 2 more shapes. So these are the pieces that you're going to need. Keep your frame, you see, you know me, I've usually got die cuts tucked inside, so little plastic pocket, tuck those inside, so when you come to use your dies. Again, you might find you've already got the size and shape that you need. So you can see here, I keep mine like this because I can see it on my shelf very easily, and with those double ones it saves them flying about everywhere. So here's our component parts. Obviously we need a card base. So my card base is 21 by 14.5 centimetres, and I've scored that at 10.5 centimetres to create it. And then my next layer, this is the one for the inside. When we come to do our stamping, I'm going to be stamping on the inside there as well. So let's get on with some stamping. So I'm taking my pool party and I'm going to do my stamping on the inside just to kind of pop that. What I will do is grab my stamping pierce mat. Photopolymer stamps, always better if you can use your stamping pierce mat, because it just helps create the cushioning that you get naturally with the foam mounted stamp sets. And that's going to just glue to the inside of my card base. So if you just take a little bit of your Tombow or tear and tape, add a layer of that. The beauty with Tombow is it gives you a little bit of wiggle room if you're trying to line up. And that then means you've got a nice white panel for you to write your sentiment on. Pop that to one side. I'm going to be doing some stamping with my sentiment. So what I've done with this is I'm going to stamp my happy birthday just slightly to the left here, and then stamp off and stamp off again to get that faded effect. Now for the next one, I'm going to stamp off on my grid paper first before I then do that. So it just gives just a pretty shadowing effect. We'll put that to one side, and then on a scrap piece of paper, and literally you can see this is very much a scrap piece, I'm taking my pretty scalloped image. Let's check I have actually, yep. And I'm going to stamp that. Then with my floral image, I'm going to come in on both of those. Where the little point is. She says, "How might need to move that up slightly. Apologies if that was slightly out of shot." I'm going to read it again. Pop it in, like so. So you've got that sort of floral effect, and then come in with your punch. So, and I'm lining my punch up at the bottom, at the bottom of the sort of like tassels almost. And there you go. There we've got our pretty one. I'm going to just punch a straightforward yeah, I'm just going to punch a straightforward, yes, I'm punching just the umbrella shape off there, and then I'm coming in with just again on my scrap of paper, just with the handle, and then that'll just feed into the side. I've left it a little bit long there. If you can't quite line it up, it's possible that it's catching on the bottom there. So I'm just going to, there you go. So I can line that up now and pop that to one side. Okay. So now we can crack on with that. So first thing I'm going to do is add my umbrella handle to the back. I'm going to not glue on my Stampin' Pierce mat. That's a bit of a habit I've got of just adding the glue and ending up with it everywhere. I put the glue on the back of the Whisper White one and add the handle to it. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more just around this top edge so that I can add my Pool Party layer as well, and that will just sort of sandwich that handle in the back there. Just be careful not to get myself too gluey. And I just felt that that gave it a bit of definition, as you can see. So while that is drying, we can create our frame. And it is as simple as just adding glue to the 4 corners of each of the frames. Make sure you're adding it to the reverse, not the front. And I'm using a quick grab glue that dries clear, so that if any shows through. And add the same to the back of my pink one. Like so. And in this case I'm going to put my pink one first. Like so. And then this one I'm just going to add at an angle over the top. And just dab those down till they hold. And then we can turn that over, and now what I'm going to use now are the long strips. So these are designed to use with shaker cards, but you'll find they're really useful for if you're popping a frame up as well, because all you do is you just stick that down one side, put a piece down the other side, and it just keeps it all really nicely supported. If on that one I've gone a bit short, just trim a bit off. You can always put it at the other end. And then I've cut 2 shorter pieces here and just pop those in the middle. Like so. So there are our components with our piece there. Actually, I think I've used have I used the wrong size one? I have. I've used the large one instead of the small one, so I'm just going to do that repeat stamping again because I like having that border of pink showing. So, Stampin' Pierce mat. I thought I'd got a bit more space than I had previously. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So, again, off to the left, so you've got space for that umbrella on the right. Just stamp off. Stamp it once. Off, because that's the equivalent of a stamp in the middle. There we go. Right. So now we can take our card base. Now what I recommend is that you pop this panel in the middle first, because you're going to struggle to get it through the aperture. So you can measure this if you like. So I usually just eyeball it, to be honest with you, but then, you know, that's probably because I've perhaps been crafting a little longer. You might prefer to. How close are we? Just double check it. So yes, 3 centimetres, yeah, that's about right. 3, yeah, okay. And then take off your backing. I've probably gone loud now because I've got near the microphone. Decide which way up you want that, and just centre that, like so. Then all that remains is for us to pop our umbrella over on the side. Then again, you could either pop that up on dimensionals if you wanted, or just with some glue around the outer edges. So just judge where you're going to pop it. So I'm going to pop it just round the edges where I know it's going to touch. Like so. Just making sure that we're not obscuring the middle. And there we have a pair of stitched rectangles and pretty parasol happy birthday cards. I hope you enjoyed watching that. If you'd like to purchase any of the products you've seen today, pop along to my blog and follow the links. You'll find those on this blog post, or go to my shop, heidismith.stampinup.net, and go to the shop, look for Pretty Parasol, and it'll come up in your search for you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Love to have you as a customer, so come back and see me soon. Bye now.